As the sun peeked over the horizon, casting a golden glow over Poraamai village, the forest beckoned with promises of adventure and resources. A group of artisans and farmers, spirits high, prepared to brave the dense thickets in search of essential woods. Safety in numbers was their mantra, for the forest teemed with wild creatures. On this particular outing, Govind, a seasoned forester, had decided to bring along his daughters, Kruthika and Khushi. Their mother, Mina, stayed at home, confident in Govind's ability to keep them safe. 4 village girls, opportunities to explore the world beyond their homes were rare, and the sisters were thrilled at the prospect of delving into the forest's mysteries. As they approached the gathering of men, Kruthika and Khushi spotted 2 familiar faces among the group: Anjali and Ananya, the spirited twins of Kumar, the village carpenter. Their presence was unexpected, given the usual absence of children on such expeditions. Kumar, needing to care for his daughters while his wife was away, had sought Govind's help. "Govind, could Kruthika and Khushi look after my girls during the outing?" Kumar asked, his voice a mix of hope and desperation. "I assure you they won't be a burden." Govind hesitated, considering the request. He knew his daughters were eager to learn, and the twins could be a handful. Yet, he understood the camaraderie of village life, where neighbors helped one another. "All right," Govind agreed, glancing at his daughters. "Kruthika, Khushi, can you keep an eye on Anjali and Ananya? It'll be an adventure for all of you." Kruthika and Khushi exchanged a silent look of dismay. Babysitting the lively twins wasn't part of their plan. Images of mischievous antics filled their minds, threatening to distract them from their explorations. But voicing their reluctance seemed futile, and they nodded, albeit reluctantly, accepting the responsibility thrust upon them. They did not want the adults to come up with the idea of leaving them in the village to babysit the twins. So having the twins come along was the better alternative. Had they known what would happen later that day, they may have decided differently.
Just a note from the editing team. All our stories are published in all major languages of the world, and the plot can be read as subtitles in your native language. Find the CC icon at the top right or bottom right side of the screen and click on it, and the subtitles will appear in your language. Also, you can adjust the quality of the picture by increasing the setting to 1080p, or in case your internet coverage is low, you may want to reduce that setting to 360p at the bottom of your screen. Remember to turn on the notification bell, so you are notified whenever we publish another sequence to the Kaveri Saga story. We appreciate any comments on ideas that you wish us to integrate into the stories. Or if you can cite a fascinating story from your village, we will include it into the novel plot. Please also note that most pictures or videos showing children are created by artificial intelligence, unless they are part of our projects. Adults who have not provided consent to being filmed are blurred.
As the group set off, the twins, with their infectious energy, clung to Kruthika and Khushi, their eyes wide with excitement and mischief. The forest loomed ahead, a realm of shadows and secrets, ready to reveal its wonders to those who dared to enter. Upon reaching and fording the Kaveri River, the group paused to thoughtfully plan their route. Their goal was to collect coveted cedarwood, agarwood, sandalwood, and bamboo, each wood nestled in distinct parts of the forest. A strategic approach was necessary. Sandalwood, agarwood, and cedarwood, aromatic woods found at higher elevations, demanded their attention first. Cooler, humid conditions in the hills nurtured these trees, heightening the intensity of their aromatic oils. By harvesting these dense woods early, they could use gravity to their advantage, easing the burden of carrying the heavy loads down to the village. The early morning air, cool and gentle with sunlight, was perfect for focusing on quality extraction without the rush that might ensue later in the day. As they stood at the river bank, Kruthika leaned over to Khushi, brushing her hair back. "Can you believe we're finally on this adventure?" she asked, her eyes sparkling with excitement. Khushi grinned back, "I know. The forest feels alive. Just listen to the birds, it's like they're cheering us on." Khushi, adjusting her backpack, chimed in, "And can you smell that? The earth is so rich here. I can't wait to find the sandalwood. It's supposed to be so fragrant." Kruthika, observing the towering trees, added, "I wonder how old some of these trees are. They must have seen so much change. It's like they hold all the forest's stories." The path meandered gracefully through the towering trees, their leaves whispering ancient secrets to the forest floor below. The air was cool, carrying the earthy aroma of the woodland, a stark contrast to the sunlit fields they had left behind. Kruthika and Khushi, with Ananya and Anjali in tow, marveled at the sights and sounds that enveloped them, a symphony of bird calls and rustling leaves creating a harmonious backdrop to their journey. But this group of humans wasn't alone in their quest for survival. Another group of creatures had a similar goal. In the heart of the dense, emerald canopy at the foot of the high slope near Poraamai, a family of silent prowlers moved with grace and purpose. The air was thick with the rich scent of earth, punctuated by distant cries, and the promise of rain teased the dry, cracked forest floor. The drought had been relentless, the heat clinging to the air like an unwelcome guest, making life arduous for the prowlers. The family consisted of a powerful leader, his vigilant partner, and their 3 inquisitive young ones. The leader, a majestic presence cloaked in a coat of shadow and flame, moved with deliberate stealth, every step a masterstroke of silent precision. His partner, equally adept at navigating the verdant world, kept close watch over their cubs, teaching them the ways of the forest. The young ones, still learning the rules of survival, bounded playfully amidst the ferns and towering trees. They were unaware of the gravity of the times, their innocence untouched by the scarcity that gripped their world. Yet, hunger gnawed at them, a persistent reminder of the harshness of life beneath the canopy. The leader's keen senses were on high alert, attuned to the slightest rustle or whisper of potential prey. His gaze swept the landscape, seeking out any movement that might promise nourishment for his young. Then, a change in the wind brought a new scent to his attention. It was familiar, yet not so frequent in this part of the forest, carrying the essence of something foreign yet intriguing. The leader paused, signaling his family to remain silent and hidden. With heightened caution, he moved towards the source of this new aroma. Through the tangled underbrush, he caught sight of a group of beings unlike any he had encountered before. They moved in a line, their voices a strange melody of laughter and chatter. Among them were smaller beings, their energy and curiosity evident in their every movement. The leader watched intently, observing these intruders who unknowingly tread upon his domain. The small ones scampered about, oblivious to the watchful eyes tracking their every step. To the leader, they seemed vulnerable, a potential solution to the persistent hunger that plagued his family. He indicated to his partner to go to the cliffs near the river and wait for him there while he followed this group, hoping to secure some prey for his cubs.
Another note from the editing team on behalf of the village girls involved in the filming of the videos and pictures. This story is an ongoing family story or saga, which sheds light on a particular problem in village life. It is our aim to immerse our fans and viewers into the true realities of village life from the perspective of a village girl. This project is unique, as it is produced by village girls themselves, and not by an outside filmmaker who reports about our lives. Not only will you be taken for a ride through our emotional world, but also we will integrate documentaries about the crafts businesses of our family members. And to highlight some of the hardships that we face as village girls, we have also integrated a fictional page-turning suspense adventure thriller. While these are not true stories, they are true representations of events happening in many villages. All family stories or sagas together make up the saga of the Kaveri River.
As they ventured further into the forest, Kruthika's curiosity about the art of incense making grew. She turned to Govind, her expression thoughtful, eager to delve deeper into the mysteries of these aromatic woods. Appa, Kruthika began, why are sandalwood, agarwood, and cedarwood specifically used for making incense? Govind paused, gathering his thoughts before explaining. The essence of any good incense lies in its fragrance, which is why these woods are so esteemed. Each of them brings a unique and cherished aroma that enhances the incense experience. Sandalwood, Govind continued, is renowned for its calming and soothing properties. When burned, it releases a smooth, creamy fragrance that helps to create a peaceful and meditative atmosphere. This is why it is often used in religious and spiritual ceremonies. Agarwood, on the other hand, is much rarer and more precious. Its scent is rich and complex, with a sweet and woody aroma that many find deeply compelling. The resin that forms in agarwood when it is infected by mold is what gives it such a unique fragrance, making it highly sought after for high-quality incense. Finally, Govind spoke of cedarwood. Cedarwood's fragrance is warm and earthy, providing a solid foundation that complements other lighter scents in incense blends. Its durability and resistance to decay also make it a reliable choice for incense making. Kruthika listened intently, fascinated by the intricate interplay of scents and the cultural significance behind these woods. The forest around them seemed to hold even more wonder now, each tree a potential source of beauty and tranquility. Meanwhile, the twins were less interested in the talk about fragrances and more intrigued by the nature and animals of the forest. They saw many different birds and tried to distinguish their sounds. Occasionally, they caught sight of rabbits or deer in the distance. Suddenly, Anjali clutched her sister's hand and pointed into the deep darkness of the forest. She whispered, "I just saw some very blue and bright eyes over there." They both peered in the direction she was pointing, but the eyes did not reappear. Knowing the older ones would make fun of them, they remained quiet. The ascent up the slope was strenuous, particularly for the children. From time to time, the group paused. Khushi couldn't help but glance nervously at the dense undergrowth, her imagination alive with thoughts of lurking creatures. She turned to her father, her voice tinged with curiosity and a hint of fear. "Appa, are there any dangerous animals in this forest? Could they attack us?" "Yes, many animals can be dangerous in the forests of Tamil Nadu and Karnataka," Govind explained. "The most prominent ones are snakes, elephants, wild boar, leopards, and tigers. Other dangerous animals include sloth bears, Indian cows, dholes, and crocodiles.
Yes, I remember.
And there are many monkeys like the rhesus macaque, bonnet macaque, and lion-tailed macaque. Monkeys in their natural habitat are not dangerous unless accompanied by young ones. But urban monkeys and snakes are perhaps the most dangerous. Most animals, Govind continued, are more afraid of humans than we are of them. They tend to avoid us if we don't disturb them. Predators like tigers or leopards, wild boar, and elephants are rarely seen and usually keep to themselves. It's important to make noise as we walk, so they know we're coming and have time to move away. But then why do wild boars and tigers come to the villages? Kruthika asked curiously. That's a good question, and it's all about survival, Govind explained. Animals like wild boars and tigers are drawn to villages because of the easy access to food. In the forest, finding food can be challenging, especially during dry seasons or when natural prey is scarce. He continued, villages often have livestock and crops, which offer an easy meal for these animals. Wild boars are notorious for their destructive behavior in farmlands. Similarly, tigers might go after chickens or sheep because they're easier to catch than wild prey. To prevent such incidents, villagers have to find ways to coexist with the wildlife. This might include using stronger enclosures for animals, setting up barriers around fields, or even using noisemakers to scare away animals. How should we react if we see a tiger or wild boar directly in front of us? Kruthika asked. Kruthika's question hung in the air, casting a shadow of apprehension over the group. The forest, with its dense foliage and hidden inhabitants, demanded respect and understanding. Govind, ever the patient guide and protector, turned to face his daughter, his expression a blend of seriousness and reassurance. If you come across a wild boar, it's important to remain calm, he began, his voice steady. Wild boars can be unpredictable and aggressive, especially if they feel threatened. The key is to avoid eye contact and slowly back away. Move sideways rather than turning your back, as this allows you to keep an eye on the animal without provoking it. Govind paused, ensuring the group absorbed his instructions. If the boar charges, try to climb a tree or find a barrier between you and the animal. They are fast, but they can't climb. Appa, she began addressing her father, her voice a blend of curiosity and apprehension. Do we treat encounters with tigers the same way we treat encounters with wild boars? Govind smiled gently, sensing the depth of her inquiry. Ah, my dear Khushi, he replied, the ways we respond to wildlife can differ greatly. Tigers, unlike wild boars, command a different respect. She tilted her head, a frown creasing her brow. Should we lie down and play dead, or climb up a tree? Govind chuckled softly, a warmth in his eyes as he considered her vivid imagination. Climbing a tree, he began, might seem like a clever escape, but remember, tigers are formidable climbers themselves. It's unwise to think you could outsmart one in its own domain. Khushi's expression shifted from intrigue to concern. But what if I jumped into water? Ah, my brave girl, Govind said, shaking his head gently. Tigers are surprisingly good swimmers, Govind explained, his voice calm and steady, trying to reassure Khushi. Jumping into water might not be the best strategy either. They are agile in water and can follow you with ease. He paused, allowing his words to settle before continuing. The key with tigers is to maintain eye contact and make yourself appear larger and more confident. Back away slowly without turning your back to them. It's important to show respect while asserting your presence. Khushi listened intently, her initial concern giving way to a deeper understanding of the behavior of these majestic creatures. So, we should never run, right? She asked, her voice tinged with newfound wisdom. Khushi absorbed this information, nodding thoughtfully. "So, the most important thing is to stay calm and think quickly," she summarized, a hint of confidence returning to her voice. Govind smiled warmly, proud of her understanding. "Exactly, Khushi. Remaining calm and using your knowledge of wildlife behavior can make all the difference. Remember, the forest is their home, and we are visitors. Respect and awareness are our best tools." Khushi's patience wore thin with the continuous climb. "How much further do we have to climb to get to the cedar wood trees?" she asked, her voice tinged with fatigue. Govind answered, "Perhaps another half an hour at this speed." Meanwhile, the twins were happily enjoying the ride on the men's shoulders. Taking turns carrying the playful twins, the men were amused by their non-stop chatter. Unlike Kruthika and Khushi, the twins were full of energy, their excitement distracting the group from being attentive to their surroundings. The dense foliage provided a perfect cover, allowing the creature to remain hidden, a silent witness to their expedition. Occasionally, the creature paused, its ears twitching to catch the faintest sound, its senses alive to the possibility of an opportunity. As the group continued deeper into the forest, the creature watched, biding its time. It knew the forest well, aware of its every nook and cranny, and it was patient. The dry season was a trying time, but it had learned to be resourceful, to wait for the right moment to strike. For now, it remained a shadow, lurking just beyond the edge of sight, waiting and watching.